This is a survey about things you liked as a kid, like back in the day. Hence why it's called the Back in the Day survey. So, what was your favorite gaming system or device? Like a Game Boy or like whatever. So I would have to say probably my favorite one back in the day when I was a kid was Super Nintendo. I actually didn't have Nintendo as a kid until I was probably like 12, just because my parents never got me one, just because they just never did. And then when I was in Florida one year with my family, my grandma was staying at the same house that we were. And the first thing I said when we walked into the house and I saw it was, "Oh my god, this house has a Nintendo in it." And because I just thought that the people that rented at the house had Nintendos, so I just thought that was kind of cool. So then my grandma was like, "Oh no," she's like, "We went to the store and we bought it for you." So I ended up keeping it and bringing it home with me when we left, so that was pretty cool. What was your favorite TV show? I don't know. I didn't really have a specific favorite, I guess, but I liked Full House and like the different shows that were on TGIF. So like, Family Matters, Sabrina the Teenage Witch, Step by Step, just different those kind of shows. But actually, to this day, I actually own all the seasons of Full House on DVD. What was your favorite movie? As a kid, I don't know. I'm gonna have to say, I will say though, Follow This Bird, or I think it's Follow That Bird, which is a Sesame Street movie, and it had, basically the story was how Big Bird got adopted by a family of dodo birds, and every time my mom and I would rent movies, I would always rent it. And so I remember the one time we went to rent it, she asked the guy at the movie theater, or at the movie rental place, if we could buy it. And the guy was like, "Oh, I don't," at the time they didn't have that thing where, like, rent it for this much money, but then buy it for, like, this much money. So anyways, he was like, "Oh, I don't know if we can sell it to you." So, didn't end up buying it, and then like when I was like 8 or something, my mom got me my own copy, so that was kind of cool. So yeah, I would have to say that was my favorite movie as a kid. What was your favorite food, drink, or meal? I don't know. I've always been a big fan of chicken, and I don't think there was like one specific thing that I loved when I was a kid, but I'll go with chicken just because I don't know. I've always liked it. So, what was one of your most important objects? I had a pink and blue striped baby blanket when I was a kid. It had pink stripes on one side and blue stripes on the other, and it was like a hospital blanket, I guess, and so that was like my favorite thing. And I also had a crocheted Minnie and Mickey Mouse doll that I used to like carry around and stuff. What was your career aspiration? I don't know. When I was a kid, I always wanted to be a teacher. And then when I was given the opportunity to be the Easter Seal ambassador when I was 14, because I had to do a lot of stuff in the media, like I had to do like a lot of commercials and TV appearances and radio appearances and I don't know, stuff like that. It kind of sparked an interest in media, so I ended up going to school for journalism, and that's where I am at now. Like, I write now, and I don't know. What was your favorite computer game? When I was a kid, it's a tie between 3. There was a Fisher-Price game that I liked a lot, and I remember it had like a bunch of like little games inside the larger game. I don't even know what the larger game was, but it had like this maze that you had to get like a dog from a tree to the firehouse or something. And then another one I also liked was like this medieval story one where it had like a bunch of scenes, and you could like put different like objects in the picture and make like a story about it and stuff. And then I also had this Sesame Street like paint program, I guess, where like you could paint the pictures with different like colors and stuff. So I don't know. And then I also had another one. It was like a math game, but I forget what it was called. I think it was like Math Whiz or like math ladder or something. I don't know. It was good. What was your favorite song, artist, or band? Well, I really didn't get into music until I was probably like, I don't know, 10 or 11, and I would say the first favorite band that I ever had in my entire life, who to this day is still my favorite band, is Hanson. Yes, they're still around, and yes, they still make music. So it was between them and the Backstreet Boys, and Backstreet Boys were actually my first concert ever. Bop is my favorite, was my favorite song, and is still my favorite song to this day. It's by Hanson, obviously. It just, I don't know, even though it's like, you know, it's a song that came out in 97, it's still a song that puts like the biggest smile on my face. And every time I hear it, I get all like warm and fuzzy, and it brings me back to like a time where, like, you know, they were pretty much my life. Show a picture that could describe you as a child. Well, I really didn't get what this meant, so I actually went into my wallet and dug out a picture of me as a kid. So this is me. I was probably, in this picture, I was probably about 3. So that's what I looked like as a child. What was your favorite book? Well, if we're talking like little kid, I liked the Sesame Street series, which, you know, Don't Cry Big Bird, Just Like Ernie, a bunch of those books. But when I got older, I liked the Babysitters Club books, and I had almost like all of them. And the last question is, what was your favorite store? I don't really think I had a favorite store, but I was always a pretty big fan of dollar stores, only because, you know, when you're a kid, you get, like, allowance, and I would always go to the dollar store and, like, blow it on, like, stupid, like, candy or, like, little plastic toys that would break in, like, 3 days. Or, there was, like, this one toy store in the mall. I don't even remember what it was called. I think it might have been, like, a KB Toys or something, but like, I used to go in there, and I was always, like, amazed at how much money, like, you know, a $20, how many things, like, a $20 bill could buy when I was a kid. So, yeah, so that was probably my favorite store. Okay, so I am going to post these questions in the down bar. You can feel free to do them if you want to, or not. It's up to you. So, I will see you in my next video.